We're at the JCC in Stamford, Connecticut. It's January the 30th, 2014, and on behalf of the Jewish Historical Society of Fairfield County, I'm Sharyn Sarner, and today we're interviewing Pearl Leferson. Hi Pearl, how are you?
I'm good, Sharyn. I have a friend named Sharyn.
Do you?
I do.
That's great. We're going to talk a little bit about your personal history today. Okay. So where were you born, Pearl?
Brooklyn Jewish Hospital,
And what year?
1917,
And what month and what month?
August.
August 30. Wow. And who were your parents?
Yetta and Jack Kukowski,
And where did they come from?
Poland, I think. I don't know if it was Russian or Poland.
Did they ever discuss their family history with
Not
you?
really, no.
And what did they do?
My father was an interior decorator, a painter decorator.
And did your mother work, or was she at home?
No, she didn't do that.
Right.
Well, I think maybe she did. When she was in the 4th grade, her father was killed on a scaffold, and there were 9 kids, and they all had to go out and work. And I think she was in some kind of factory or something.
Do you know how your parents met?
In a dance place. I don't know.
That's great.
All the immigrants gathered
Right.
in New York.
Now, did you have siblings?
2 sisters. I'm the oldest.
Tell us about your early family life. Were you raised in Brooklyn, or where were you?
Yes.
Where were you raised?
Brooklyn.
And tell us about your home life.
I don't remember too much about it in the house. I was outside all the time, dancing and roller skating and playing. You know, I was always outside, and I loved the boys. I was boy crazy. Really.
Were you?
Yeah.
You remember this from an early age?
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah.
That's cute. What kind of education did you receive?
High school. And we lived right near the border of Queens, so I went to John Adams High, which was in Queens.
Describe the home that your parents set up. Did they have a Jewish home? Did they celebrate
Yes.
holidays? Tell us what you remember of that.
Just that my mother was kosher. I know she changed dishes. I didn't pay much attention in the kitchen. I never learned to cook or anything. I remember my mother rolling out dough for noodles, things like that. But we didn't celebrate anything special.
Did you have a religious education at all?
No, not until about 10 years ago I got bat mitzvah.
Did you really? Tell us about that.
Well, I studied with the rabbi at Temple Sinai, and there was a whole group, and I memorized everything. Don't ask me what anything meant.
And how did you feel about that experience?
Well, I thought my husband and son were not bar mitzvah, and I thought someone in the family should be. So I just did it.
Did you have a big celebration with your family or
Yeah.
friends?
Oh yes.
So it was meaningful to you at that time?
I think so.
Wow. That's very impressive. So, you had a bat mitzvah recently, which is wonderful. Tell us about your immediate family life. How did you meet your husband?
It was a blind date. My girlfriend had a boyfriend. Let's see how I put it. And the boyfriend had a friend that they went to school with. And he said that his girlfriend's friend was a pest. She was always around, and he had to get a guy to get her out of his way. So he brought his friend, and that was my husband.
And how old were you when you met your husband?
15.
And how old was he?
18.
18. Wow. So did you start dating then, or?
No. I had other boyfriends.
Good for you. You were busy.
He lived in New Jersey, and I was in Brooklyn. So it was a big deal for him to come and see me. And we corresponded a little bit. We were both too young.
Right. But you kept in touch, so how did you
So,
eventually get together?
Well, I don't know, just writing to each other, I guess. because he went across country after high school, and I wrote to him while he was traveling
So when did you get married?
when I was 21. The twin Cantors married us on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn.
Twin Cantors?
Yes.
Tell us about the Twin Cantors.
I don't know anything about them, just that they married us.
That's funny.
Yeah. And it was Thanksgiving Day. My husband had to travel. It was a terrible, stormy day,
Really?
and I thought he wasn't going to get there. I was sure I was going to be stood up.
What year was this?
38.
Now, was he still living in New Jersey at that time? And you got married
Yes.
in Queens?
In Brooklyn.
Brooklyn, I'm sorry, Brooklyn.
Mhm.
So where did you and your husband settle to start your family?
Here, let's see, how do I put, he had to get a job
Mm-hmm.
for us to get married.
Right.
So he wrote as soon as that he just got a job, and when he's making $35 a week, we can get married.
And what kind of job did he have for $35 a week?
At Maclet Labs here in Springdale,
Mm-hmm.
and he was living in a furnished room, and something to do with X-ray tubes. But he ended up he was actually an engineer, electrical engineer.
Did he go to college?
Yep, yes, for 2 years.
Was it the Depression during that time?
Yes.
And so things were a little difficult?
There were no jobs, yeah. He was so happy to get a job.
And how did he come to Stanford? How did you know that
Well,
Stanford
a friend
existed?
of his
Right.
was working at Maclet, and that got him the job
Oh, that's it. So you moved to Stanford in what year?
when we were married.
The year you were married?
Yes.
Wow.
And we lived in a furnished room on Forest Street,
Yes.
and with a hot plate and ants, and
But you were happy?
madly in love,
Oh, that's
both
nice.
of us.
Now, I know that you've mentioned that you were a working woman, and so tell
Well,
us
I was
something about
working-
that.
Yes, I was working for accountants and lawyers in New York, 1450 Broadway, and I was earning $7 a week, and it was great. I was glad to have the job.
When did you start that?
Right after high school,
Really?
yes.
So you commuted?
Well, I was living in Brooklyn then.
Right, but when you
Yes.
moved to Stanford, did you continue?
And then I continued.
Wow.
Yes.
That was very unusual for a woman.
Yes, the commutation ticket was $14 a month,
Wow.
every day.
And how-
Round trip,
And what did you do in your job?
everything. I ran the office.
Really?
Mhm.
And did you enjoy it?
Yes. Mhm. Bookkeeping and accounting, my mind just left me.
Secretarial work or?
Yes. I went to the store for one of my accountants who had a girlfriend. He was married, and he'd want me to buy her a gift.
That's funny.
Yeah,
Uh-oh.
Those are the things you remember.
Yeah, of course, of course. So,
And I went to the Paramount Theater and saw what's his name? That
Sinatra.
starred out.
Sinatra?
Sinatra?
Sinatra.
Yeah,
Yes.
you did.
When he first came there, the first day he was there, I was there.
So
one
what
of,
was
one
that
of the
like?
screaming kids.
So you were still boy crazy.
Oh,
All
yeah,
those years,
always,
right?
yeah.
So tell us, I know you had children. Tell me.
I have a son and a daughter.
Okay. And tell us a little bit about your son and daughter.
Oh, my son, after my husband, after he left Maclet, we started his own business, and I ran his office,
What kind of business did he have?
two-way radio communications.
Here in Stanford?
Yes,
Okay.
he took care of all the police cars, the fire radios, all the commercial. It was commercial,
Right.
the two-way radios,
What was the company called?
radio communications.
And where was it?
Well, the old firehouse in Springdale, we bought the firehouse right on Hope Street.
Really?
Right across from the one that's there now.
Sure.
We had that building,
And you worked for him?
and I worked for him.
So, you've lived here a long time. Did you raise tell us about your children, first of all, a little bit. You have a son and a daughter.
Yes.
I know your daughter's quite accomplished.
Yes, she is. I've told you all about her.
But tell us.
Well, she was a graduate nurse, and she joined the Navy. And after that, she decided to be a scuba diver, and she was offered a job in St. Thomas, and to run the dive shop. At the Virgin Island Diving School, she was there for 17 years. And while she was working, her boss bought her an airplane because she wanted to learn to fly. And she became accomplished at it and went on and became a pilot for United. And she got a job at United. And that's why she moved to Virginia, to be near Dulles Airport.
Is she still a pilot?
And she's still, no. When she's 60, I guess she'll retire.
Mm-hmm.
So she went back to nursing, teaching nurses at the university in Virginia. What are you whispering?
It's okay. It's okay.
So she's really a fabulous person.
Well, she's got a fabulous mother.
Thank you.
Now, I just want to ask you a question, getting back to your career. When you were working and commuting to New York and working in the offices for, you said accountants?
And lawyers.
And lawyers.
Yeah.
Did you want to do more? I mean, was there ever a time when you wanted to do more?
No, I took a commercial course in high
Mhm.
school. In those days, my father didn't think girls had to go to college.
Right.
Yeah. And so I never had the opportunity, or I would have. My sister to this day says that she was gypped.
Really?
Yeah, she should have gone.
And she never went back as an adult?
She never went to college either.
Yeah.
No. It was depression, we didn't
Right.
have any money.
Right. But you enjoyed what you did?
Yes.
Now, did you raise your children with any sort of Jewish influences at all?
Not too much, no.
Did they know that they were Jewish?
Oh, yes,
And your husband was Jewish?
yes.
Right. What about, did they...
But my parents didn't think he was. They didn't
Why
think.
not?
I don't know. They just didn't believe he was Jewish. He was raised in Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
Mm-hmm.
There were no Jewish, there was one Jewish family there, that was
Right.
it.
Right.
No temple or anything.
Really? So you didn't celebrate the holidays?
No,
No, you said
Not too much.
You said you became a bat mitzvah through Temple Sinai. Are you a member of Temple Sinai?
I am.
So have you been a member there for a while?
Yes.
Okay. So obviously you felt some connection
Oh, yes,
to
always.
joining. Yeah.
Oh, yes.
And do you go on the holidays?
Yes.
And do you celebrate any holidays now?
Oh, yeah, we do now because, yeah,
Yeah.
with the family we'll get together.
Oh, that's nice.
My ex-daughter-in-law always cooks. I have grandchildren and great-grandchildren, we will get together.
Well, that's nice. That's very nice.
Mhm.
Did you, in growing up or living here for so many years, did you ever experience or witness anti-Semitism or changes in the Jewish
Very
community?
little, no. Not that I was aware of.
No, that's good.
Maybe behind my back.
What wars have you lived through? You've lived through a few, or do you want to make any comments about how, you said the Depression really affected everybody, obviously,
Right.
but do you want to make any comments about other wars and how it changed, how you lived, how your family lived?
Well, I remember when Pearl Harbor was bombed.
Mhm.
I was sitting on the couch with my 6 months old baby boy, so scared that they were going to take my husband, you know. But he was working at Maclet on X-ray tubes that they needed for the war, and so he was exempt. And they sent him to MIT to do something with the X-ray
Really?
tubes, yeah, during the war.
Mhm.
So we were saved.
Good. I'm sure you were relieved,
Yes.
right?
Uh-huh.
Tell us about any involvement you've had in the community at large. Have you been involved in any way in the Jewish community
Yes.
or the other? So tell us what you've done.
I was always involved. Temple Sinai used to do a lot of volunteer things,
Mhm.
running things.
Right. What particular interests did you have there?
I don't know. I invited the sisterhood. I was involved with the
Mhm.
sisterhood.
Mm-hmm.
And we had lunches for the seniors in Stanford,
Right.
things like that.
That's nice. And what do you do? What did you do? And what do you do now with your time? I know you exercise here, correct?
Oh, yes, I come 3 days a week.
And what do you do?
Exercise in the pool.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
great.
And I come to lunch Thursdays and Fridays when I can.
What do you like about the lunch program at the JCC?
It's great to meeting everybody
Mm-hmm.
because I'm alone now. I've lost my husband. And you have to have social contact.
Right. Right. And they do a lot of the holidays. They celebrate the Jewish holidays, which is
Right.
very nice.
Right,
Right.
right.
And I'm sorry, I skipped over your son. Is your son in the community?
Yes, well, he took over, when my husband retired from radio communications, we gave the business to my son. And he was working in Braintree, he was an electrical engineer. He got his master's and he was working at Hazeltine in Boston. And he got his master's there. And he took over the business. And he sold the after a while he sold our building and opened the one on Camp Avenue. And made it bigger.
Yeah.
He did a great job.
Is he still working in the business?
No, he sold it recently. And he's working. He's 72 now. I didn't expect to live long enough to have kids on Social Security.
That is great.
Yes, but he's wonderful. He comes down every Saturday. I have a to-do list for him.
He's a good son.
He's wonderful.
And how many grandchildren do you have?
3.
How has Stamford changed since you moved here?
It's like New York now. Yeah. Well, it was a small town. Springdale was Springdale. Now it's Stanford. All the tall buildings downtown.
Yeah.
I don't know the whole area out downtown now. So different.
It's nice though. What kind of advice do you have for future generations? Do you have any advice for young people today?
I don't think it's a good idea to give anyone any advice.
Yeah. Any words of wisdom? You had a long and happy marriage. Do you have any words of wisdom about a marriage?
Yeah. Marry the right guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very devoted.
Sounds like you were really lucky.
We were so lucky. I must have a picture. I must show you the picture.
Sure, show me the picture. Show the camera the picture.
I have a picture.
Also, while you're looking for the picture, you brought in a newspaper for the Historical Society. You were in Israel
We did
at an
a lot of
important time,
traveling.
so why don't you tell us about that?
We've traveled all over the world, almost. Anytime my husband had time off, we traveled. When my daughter was a senior in high school, we had a girl from American Field Service, I think it was called, from Turkey. She lived with us for a year. She was a senior, and that was wonderful. She was like a daughter to us after. We called her Taffy because she was blonde, and we called her Turkish Taffy.
That's cute. That's cute. Tell us about what it was like to be in Israel at that time. You said you were mentioning before that Anwar Sadat came to visit
Yes.
when you were there in 1977.
Yes.
So what happened?
Nothing, we just got moved to another town, to another hotel.
Were you staying at the King David?
Yes, we were.
And they told you you had to move because
Yes.
he was busy?
Yeah, we were with a group, American Field Service. No, I forget the name. This was
Okay.
a long time
That's
ago.
okay.
I don't remember too much about it. Everything is a blur after you've done a lot of countries and you don't know what you did where. I remember one thing in the Alps where we were in a room that we had to go down the hall to a bathroom, and the bathroom had a picture window right next to the toilet with no blinds or anything, looking out on a parking lot. And and I said to the people, "Don't you have a shade?" He says, "Everyone knows what you're doing." And I never forgot that. So don't go to the Alps where you
Sure.
can't check out the bathroom.
That's a riot.
Oh.
So how many times have you been to Israel?
Just the one time.
One time.
We've been to Turkey, Australia, just about a lot of countries in Europe.
You lived a good long life. What inventions have you lived to see that particularly amaze you?
Everything has changed. The computer has changed everything. The whole world knows all about you on your computer.
Well, I see you have an email address.
Yes.
Do you email?
The kids, yes, I do a lot of email. My grandchildren gave me an iPad.
That's great. Do you like it?
I love it.
Good for you. And tell us your email address, because you said your husband made it up for you.
Well, hey kid too. He called me hey kid. Hey kid. He never called me by my name, so I don't think he knew my name.
That's cute.
We were only married for 72 years.
Wow, that's wonderful. That's a big accomplishment in your life, right?
Yes, yes. Can't find my pictures. Oh, thank you. I'm still looking.
Are your grandchildren local?
No. My grandson was adopted because they didn't think they were going to have any. And then they had granddaughters.
That's nice.
One is a pediatrician, the other's an actuary.
Wow. And where do they live?
South Windsor is the pediatrician.
Oh.
She works at
Connecticut.
Hartford Hospital.
Right.
The actuary is in Washington Crossing. Do you know where that is? In Pennsylvania. You know where that is. Okay. My grandson is in North Carolina. He lived in Hawaii for many years, and that's where he married his wife. And they have 2 sons. And his oldest son just became an Eagle Scout, and they had a big celebration.
That's nice. Very nice.
That was quite an accomplishment. They're all very beautiful, wonderful people, really. Each of my granddaughters have a boy and a girl, each. I think they compete. And they both had around the same age. They must have planned it.
That's great.
So,
You found a picture.
I don't know.
You got a few pictures in there.
No, my granddaughter. Oh, God, I hope I have one. I did. Oh, this was my daughter, but that was quite a while ago. Oh,
This is a pilot, right?
the pilot.
The retired pilot.
Yeah.
Oh, is this you and your husband?
Yeah, that's our wedding picture.
Oh my gosh, that
Hold
is
it up.
beautiful.
Isn't he gorgeous?
Yes, he is. I think you're gorgeous too. He had a nice head of hair.
Yes, right up to the
Handsome,
end.
very
This was
handsome.
him more recently.
You know what?
before,
When did he pass away?
3 years ago in
I
March.
think I recognize him. Is that you?
That's us.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh. Am I going too fast?
No, fine, hold higher.
That is the cutest thing. Look at that. He had a nice head of hair.
Okay. Yes, he always had good hair. Do you want to see?
Now tell me, where'd you get your fashion sense from?
I didn't know I had one.
You-
My
you-
sister says I don't have any.
You're always matching. And how many caps do you have?
33. Just summer and winter ones.
Have you always worn caps?
No. Just when everyone started, I had a few and everyone started giving, they didn't know what to give me for my birthday, and, you know.
Yeah. Is there anything that we haven't discussed that you want to talk about regarding your life or your husband, or your family?
No, I'm trying to think. I don't know. Probably I'll think of it tomorrow.
It's okay.
What else? I don't know what else you want to. I don't know.
I think we've got it. Well, thank you so much, Pearl.
Oh, good. Thank you. Turn off that camera.